The old war dog stood alone in the freezing rain outside the human colony gate. Children threw stones at him and guards pushed him away from the entrance. Nobody believed the animal had once been the most feared combat unit in the galaxy. Then the emergency alarm exploded across the city. Giant warning lights turned the sky red. Massive black warships appeared above the clouds and blocked the stars. Citizens started screaming and running through the streets as explosions shook the city center. Leanna grabbed the old dog tightly after recognizing the symbol on the ships. It was the mark of the Xerac Empire that destroyed entire planets during the Galactic War. The old dog suddenly changed. His weak, shaking body became still and focused. His remaining eye locked onto the sky like an old soldier returning to battle. Human defense drones were destroyed within minutes. Alien fighters rained plasma fire. Lena followed the dog through burning streets, filled with smoke and dead soldiers. An armored military transport crashed into a wall and a wounded commander crawled out. The moment he saw the dog, his face lost all color. He saluted the animal. Lena stared in confusion while the commander whispered the truth. The old dog was not a normal animal. He was Unit K-947. One of the genetically engineered war beasts created during humanity's darkest years. Before Lena could speak, a giant alien carrier descended above the city. A tall alien general wearing white battle armor stepped forward with silver eyes. General Verac had returned, the same monster responsible for exterminating millions. Verac stared directly at the dog and smiled like he had found an old enemy. He activated a device on his wrist, and pain circuits exploded with electricity. The animal collapsed onto the ground, screaming while Lena rushed beside him. Verac explained that war beasts were designed with obedience implants. He revealed the secret. The dog had failed his final mission 20 years earlier. He refused to destroy a refugee moon, filled with infected civilians and children. That decision delayed Fleet 7 long enough for the Xerac Empire to wipe them out. Verac called the dog weak, and claimed millions died later because of his mercy. Lena placed her hand against the animal's burned fur and realized the truth. He did not fail because he was weak. He protected innocent people, even during war. Verac activated the pain circuits again, but the dog forced himself back onto his feet. Then he stepped in front of Lena to protect her from the alien general. Even after decades of suffering, he still chose humans over survival. Resistance fighters attacked from rooftops and heavy gunfire exploded. Human defenses collapsed until survivors were forced underground. Inside one of the shelters, resistance leaders argued hopelessly. The old dog walked toward a damaged military terminal hidden beneath dust. He placed his paw against the scanner and unlocked classified military archives. Ancient star maps appeared on the screen showing hidden human defense stations. The commander became terrified after recognizing the name Project Cerberus, an abandoned orbital weapon system powerful enough to destroy entire fleets. The old dog stared silently at the screen while everyone realized his intent. If the system activated near Earth colonies, millions of civilians could die. Lena understood that history had returned to the same impossible choice. 20 years earlier, the dog refused mass death. Now, humanity faced extinction. The resistance group traveled across frozen wastelands for 2 brutal days. More survivors joined after hearing rumors that the last war dogs still fought. Hope slowly returned among humans for the first time since the invasion began. They reached the hidden polar facility. Giant steel doors opened beneath ice, but Verac was already waiting inside. Dead resistance fighters covered the snow. Verac calmly explained he knew the dog would come because mercy always follows responsibility. Above the station, the enemy fleet prepared for final extermination. Verac ordered the dog to activate Cerberus himself and destroy both fleets. The old dog slowly walked toward the control panel while every soldier watched. His paw hovered over the activation switch as memories returned from Fleet 7. Then he stepped away from the controls because he could not sacrifice innocent lives again. Verac laughed and called him weak for the second time in his life. Suddenly, emergency alarms exploded throughout the facility. Lena had secretly reached a secondary command console and activated Cerberus. She looked at the dog and whispered that he already saved children once. Now, it was her turn to save him. Giant beams of light tore through the sky. Explosions covered the atmosphere like burning stars falling across the planet. Verac screamed in rage and charged toward Lena, but the old dog intercepted him. Both crashed through the frozen platform and disappeared into the icy abyss. Lena watched the war dog drag the alien general into darkness. Weeks later, the invasion ended and humanity survived. Statues honored heroes, yet nobody built a monument for Unit K. 9 to 47. still treated like a weapon. Every winter, Lena returned alone to the frozen cliff, where he disappeared. One morning, she placed his rusted military collar into the snow and smiled quietly. Distant howls echoed across the ice storms far below. Humanity finally understood. The old war dog was its last remaining conscience.